everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Amanda N, and today I'm talking about a topic that my editor Julia recommended, which is the legend of the Wawel dragon from Krakow, Poland. I admit I'm not Polish, so if I butcher any names, I apologize in advance, but anyway, according to my sources, the Wawel dragon is naturally from underneath the Wawel castle. Though there's a lot of different versions of this legend, there's one that's most commonly told, and it goes like this. Once upon a time, when King Krakus was reigning in Krakow and the Wawel castle was his residence, people led calm, happy lives. But one day, people heard strange noises from the underground of the castle and discovered that a dragon lived there. The dragon was very hungry and demanded food from the residents. If they didn't grant him with food, the dragon was simply devouring them. It created havoc everywhere. The whole city was terrified and begged the king for a solution. King Krakus was scared as well and wanted to stop the madness. He was thinking for quite some time and came up with a competition. Whoever defeated and killed the dragon would marry his daughter, Princess Wanda, and win the crown. A lot of brave men turned up to fight with the beast, but none of them succeeded. The dragon was becoming stronger and stronger and killed every daredevil that was on their way. People started thinking there was no hope for killing the monster. But then, Scuba, a poor shoemaker, came up with a trick. He decided to use the dragon's gluttony. He took a sheepskin and filled it with hay and sulfur. Scuba slipped the sheep to the dragon, and the beast ate the sheep. The sulfur made it so thirsty that it ran to the Vistula River. It drank and drank and drank until it exploded. The king kept his promise, Scuba married Wanda, and we can still admire the castle today. There's also a statue in Krakow, Poland that commemorates this dragon, and the statue actually breathes real fire. Seriously, I would visit just to see that. The dragon has become a symbol of the city, and in a way, just like we saw with Roswell in Virginia in Brazil, the area profits off of and commercializes these strange legends. I've got no problem with that. It's a fun tourist attraction and a good way to attract foreigners that know nothing about the area. There's books about Krakow that go more into depth about this legend, and travel sites describe how the beast, apparently known as Smok Wawelski, perished in the caves that you can visit to this day. Now, normally I might end this story here or not even make a video about this. It's an interesting story, nothing more, but probably just a legend, right? However, what makes this tale particularly stand out to me is that the bones of Smok himself were supposedly discovered. One source states that hanging next to the cathedral's entrance are the real bones of Smok Wawelski, the Wawel dragon. They are chained together in a random jumble, hanging high above the main doors. Before the city was founded, the dragon was said to live in a cave under one of Wawel's rolling hills. He was one of the classic maiden-devouring ilk, and the local people even had to put out a fresh young woman each month to quell his appetite. When Smok exploded, as the legend says, his bones were hung there. The source also states, as delightful as it would be if the remains were truly mythological, the bones are actually thought to be fossilized whale bones or mammoth bones. Regardless of their true origin, they have been there for centuries and are credited with magical powers. I wanted to see if anything was proven or why someone hadn't tested these bones yet. I did a little bit more digging and found an interesting article from Science in Poland that suggests that these aren't mammoth or whale bones at all, but possible dinosaur bones. The Wawel dragon was in fact more real than we may think. Archosaurs are a type of diapsid amniotes which included dinosaurs, pterosaurs, and its living representatives are crocodiles and birds. A possible member of the group of archosaurs that were the ancestors of dinosaurs was the 5 to 6 meter long reptile that lived 210 million years ago in the area of today's Silesia. Its fossils were found in Lipiskaleski. Scientists named it Smok Wawelski, the Wawel dragon. But the latest research on Smok focused on its petrified feces called coprolites. Based on their analysis, it was possible to determine Smok's diet, as the feces contained a lot more bone remains, report scientists from the University of Uppsala in Sweden. Gregorotsny, I'm not even going to try to say his last name, and Martin and Alberg inform. Sorry about those names. So was it an actual dragon? Probably not, but there genuinely could have been a massive archosaur and reptile beneath the castle. Since dinosaurs went extinct a very long time ago, 210 million years ago, and Homo sapiens, or humans, are believed to have evolved around 250,000 years ago, it doesn't seem likely that this creature and the king and castle would have been around at the same time. But yes, there could have been a giant lizard beast in this cave. It's almost like this town is honoring a dinosaur that could have existed millions of years ago, which I find just as fascinating, if not more so, than it being about a complete fantasy. One scientific article on the topic reads, "Here we present evidence for osteophagy in the late Triassic Archosaur smokwoleski, 2012, a large theropod-like predator from Poland. 10 medium to large size coprolites are matched by their dimensions and by association with body fossils and footprints to S. wawelski. The coprolites contain fragments of large serrated teeth, as well as up to 50% by volume of bone fragments with distinct fragmentation and angularity from several prey taxa. This suggests pronounced osteophagy. Further evidence for bone-crushing behavior is provided by isolated worn teeth, bone-rich regurgitalities, fossil regurgitates, and numerous examples of crushed or bite-marked I really can't pronounce these scientific terms, sorry, all collected from the same bone-bearing beds in Lippy Skalski clay pit. Several of the anatomical characters related to osteopathy, such as massive head and robust body, seem to be shared by S. wawelski and the tyrannosaurids, despite their wide phylogenetic separation. These large predators thus provide evidence of convergence driven by similar feeding ecology at the beginning and end of the age of dinosaurs." Wow, what an article to get through. Okay, the similarities between the dragon and the archosaurs are undeniable, is the point here. I really wanted to know when these archosaurs went extinct, if they died along with dinosaurs, or if there was even a sliver of a chance that one of these massive lizards was hanging out in this cave while humans lived above. But it really doesn't seem that way. The archosaurs are thought to have gone extinct about 200 million years ago. So, all in all, this legend ends up being half true. Massive reptiles did exist in this area by the Wawel cave, if there was even a cave at that point, because our Earth changes so much. Maybe it was a valley, maybe it was a mountain, who knows what was there. But an archosaur was there, did die there, in what we now know is that cave in Krakow. Although it definitely seems as if humans couldn't have lived alongside it, there was, I guess, a dragon in that cave, is how someone may be able to see it. It wasn't scaring humans, but I found this worth sharing and a pretty great story. I'm going with the narrative of those tourists in Poland are almost honoring a dragon that once lived. That's the narrative I'm putting in my head. But anyway, I hoped you guys liked today's video. Just wanted a smaller story, kind of laid back. I thought this one was really interesting, and Julia, I hope you liked it. I will see you guys in the next one. If you have any recommendations, let me know in those comments down below. Still going to be working on a lot more folklore, but if there's any topics you'd really like to see on the channel, feel free to let me know. Alright guys, have a good one. Bye!